In a city where every move is watched, every glance analyzed, and every dinner can spark global headlines, something just happened that has fans and insiders buzzing like never before. What really went down when Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner were spotted together at Sushi Park? And more importantly, what does this mean for their relationship right now? Before we get into it, make sure you hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for the latest celebrity updates, because this story? It's only getting deeper. Late in the evening, under the soft glow of Los Angeles nightlife, the ultra-exclusive Sushi Park once again became the center of attention. Known for its privacy and A-list clientele, this low-key hotspot is not where celebrities go to be seen, it's where they go to disappear. But this time, disappearing wasn't exactly what happened. Eyewitnesses say the mood was calm, almost intimate. No flashy entrances, no entourage chaos. Just Timothée and Kylie, arriving with a subtle confidence that immediately caught attention. For fans who have been following their relationship journey, from rumored romance to red carpet confirmations, this quiet dinner speaks volumes. And here's where it gets interesting. Sources close to the scene noted a shift. Not just two celebrities grabbing dinner, but a level of comfort that suggests something deeper. Conversations flowing easily. Laughter that didn't feel staged. Body language that didn't scream publicity, but connection. Now pause for a second. Because this isn't just another celebrity sighting. This comes at a time when both Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner have been navigating intense public scrutiny. Timothée, fresh off major Hollywood projects and continuing to build his reputation as one of the most versatile actors of his generation. Kylie, balancing her billion-dollar empire and personal life under a microscope that never turns off. So why Sushi Park? Why now? That's the question fans are asking. This particular restaurant has become somewhat of a symbolic location in celebrity culture, a place where relationships quietly evolve away from flashing cameras. And when two high-profile figures choose the same space more than once, it's rarely random. But here's the twist that's keeping everyone talking. Multiple insiders suggest that this dinner wasn't just casual, it may signal a new phase in their relationship. A phase that's less about headlines and more about stability. Less about proving something to the public, and more about building something privately. Still, not everything is as simple as it seems. Because while the atmosphere appeared relaxed, there were subtle details that didn't go unnoticed. The timing of their arrival. The way they left separately. The deliberate attempt to avoid drawing too much attention. These are the kind of calculated moves that often hint at something bigger happening behind the scenes. And if you've been paying close attention, you'll know this isn't the first time their outings have sparked speculation. But this one feels different. There's a quiet intensity to it. A sense that something is shifting, even if no one is saying it out loud. Midway through the evening, according to those nearby, there was a moment, brief, almost easy to miss, where the dynamic between them changed. A pause in conversation. A shared look. The kind of moment that doesn't translate in photos but says everything in real life. What does that mean? That's where the mystery deepens. Because in Hollywood, relationships often play out like scripts, predictable, performative, carefully curated. But what Timothée and Kylie are doing feels unscripted. And that's exactly why people can't stop watching. As the night came to an end, there was no dramatic exit. No grand gestures. Just two individuals stepping back into the Los Angeles night, leaving behind more questions than answers. And maybe that's the point. Because sometimes, the most powerful stories aren't the ones that are told loudly, but the ones that unfold quietly, one moment at a time. So are Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner stronger than ever? Are they redefining what a celebrity relationship looks like in 2026? Or is there something else happening beneath the surface that we haven't seen yet? One thing is certain, this isn't the last time we'll be talking about them. If you've made it this far, you already know the story is far from over. Hit like if you think their relationship is getting serious, comment your theory below, and subscribe so you don't miss the next update, because when it comes to Timothee and Kylie, every detail matters. But just when it seemed like the night would fade into another quiet celebrity moment, something unexpected began to unfold, something that insiders are only now starting to piece together. Because according to additional sources who were either inside Sushi Park that night or connected to the staff, the interaction between Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner didn't stay surface level for long. What started as a relaxed dinner slowly turned into a deeper, more intense exchange, one that seemed to carry emotional weight. At one point during the evening, the energy reportedly shifted. The laughter softened. The tone of their conversation became more serious. And while no one could hear exactly what was being said, the change in body language was impossible to ignore. Timothee leaned in closer. Kylie listened intently. This wasn't just casual dating energy anymore. This felt like a conversation that mattered. Now here's where things take an even more intriguing turn. A source claims that the two stayed longer than expected, far longer than the average discreet celebrity dinner at Sushi Park. And in a place where privacy is everything, staying longer can mean one thing: they were in no rush to leave each other's presence. Think about that. In a world where both of them are constantly pulled in different directions, film sets, business meetings, global appearances, they chose to slow down time, even just for a few hours. And that decision? It speaks louder than any public statement ever could. But not everyone is convinced this is a simple love story. Because behind the scenes, whispers are growing louder. Some insiders suggest that both Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner are being extremely careful, almost strategic, about how they present their relationship to the public. Not because something is wrong, but because everything is under such intense scrutiny. Every move dissected. Every outing analyzed. And in that kind of environment, even genuine moments can start to look calculated. So the question becomes, are they protecting something real or managing a narrative? Right when fans thought they had it figured out, another detail surfaced. As the night wrapped up, reports suggest they didn't leave together in the traditional sense. Instead, there was a slight delay, just enough to avoid a direct exit as a pair. A move that's become increasingly common among high-profile couples who want to maintain privacy without fueling speculation. But ironically, that very move has done the opposite. It's fueled even more curiosity. Because if there's nothing to hide, why the careful timing? And yet, those close to the situation argue that this isn't about hiding, it's about control. Control over their own story in a world that constantly tries to write it for them. And honestly, that makes sense. Especially for Kylie Jenner, who has spent years mastering the balance between public exposure and private boundaries. And for Timothée Chalamet, whose rise in Hollywood has been defined by a careful, almost selective presence in the spotlight. Together, they represent two completely different worlds, blending into one narrative that no one fully understands yet. And maybe that's why this story keeps evolving. Because just when you think you know what's going on, something changes. Now here's the part that has fans truly divided. Some believe the Sushi Park sighting is proof that their relationship is stronger than ever, more grounded, more real, and more intentional. Others think it signals a turning point, a moment where things are either about to deepen, or quietly shift in another direction. And if you look closely, there are clues pointing both ways. The comfort between them? Undeniable. The caution in their actions? Also undeniable. It's this contrast that's making everything feel so unpredictable. And unpredictability is what keeps people watching. Because let's be real, if everything was obvious, this wouldn't be a story. But this is layered. This is complex. This is the kind of narrative that unfolds slowly, revealing pieces over time rather than all at once. And that's exactly why the Sushi Park moment matters more than it seems. It's not just about where they went. It's about what it represents. A quiet night. A private conversation. A subtle shift. All happening in a city where nothing stays hidden for long. And as more details continue to surface, one thing becomes clear: this wasn't just another dinner. This was a moment. A moment that could define what comes next for Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. So what do you think is really going on behind the scenes? Is this the beginning of something deeper, or just another chapter in a story that's constantly evolving? Drop your thoughts below, because this conversation is far from over. And stay tuned, because if there's one thing we know for sure, it's that the next move they make could change everything. And just when the story felt like it had reached its peak, a new layer began to surface, one that adds even more depth, more intrigue, and more unanswered questions to what really happened that night at Sushi Park. Because according to individuals who have been quietly observing the pattern of outings between Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner, this wasn't just a spontaneous dinner. There's a growing belief that moments like these are part of something more consistent, more intentional, than anyone initially realized. Let that sink in. This isn't about one night anymore. It's about a pattern. Over the past months, there have been subtle sightings, low-key appearances, and carefully timed outings that, when viewed individually, seem insignificant. But when you connect the dots, a completely different picture starts to emerge. And it's that bigger picture that has fans and insiders leaning in closer than ever. Because here's what's being whispered behind closed doors. Some believe that Timothée and Kylie have quietly built a routine, one that prioritizes privacy, consistency, and genuine connection over public validation. A routine that doesn't rely on social media posts or staged appearances, but instead exists in moments like this, hidden in plain sight. But then again, not everyone agrees. There's another side to this story. A more skeptical perspective that suggests everything we're seeing is carefully managed. That even the most natural moments are still part of a broader strategy to maintain a certain image. And honestly, in Hollywood, that possibility is never off the table. But here's where things get even more complicated. Because during that same evening, there was reportedly an interaction, small, almost invisible, that is now being analyzed in detail. A moment when Kylie briefly stepped away, leaving Timothée alone at the table. No drama. No tension. Just a quiet pause. But when she returned, something had changed. Not dramatically. Not in a way that would catch immediate attention. But enough for those nearby to notice a difference in energy. The conversation resumed, but slower. More deliberate. Almost as if something important had just been said, or decided. Now, we don't know exactly what that moment meant. But in a setting where every gesture is amplified, even the smallest shift can carry significant weight. And that's exactly why the story refuses to settle. Because every new detail adds another layer. Another possibility. Another reason to keep watching. As the night continued, the atmosphere inside Sushi Park reportedly became even quieter around them, as if those present could sense that something meaningful was unfolding. Not in a dramatic, headline-grabbing way, but in a subtle, almost cinematic way. The kind of moment that doesn't explode into the public eye immediately, but lingers. And then comes the part that has truly divided opinions. As they prepared to leave, there was no visible tension. No signs of conflict. But also no overt display of affection. Instead, what people noticed was balance. A controlled, mutual understanding. Two individuals moving in sync without needing to prove anything to anyone else. And maybe, that's the real story here. Because in a world driven by attention, what stands out the most is often what isn't shown. No social media posts. No official statements. No confirmation. Just moments. Real or carefully curated, that's still up for debate. But either way, they're working. They're keeping people talking. And more importantly, they're keeping people guessing. Now let's take a step back. Because if you look at the broader timeline of their relationship, this Sushi Park sighting doesn't exist in isolation. It fits into a sequence of events that suggests something evolving, slowly but steadily. From early rumors that many dismissed, to public appearances that caught everyone off guard, to now, these quieter, more intimate moments that hint at something deeper. It's a progression. And progressions lead somewhere. The question is, where? Are we watching the foundation of a long-term relationship being built behind the scenes? Or are we witnessing a carefully paced narrative designed to keep the spotlight exactly where it is? Because both possibilities are still very real. And until something definitive happens, the speculation will only grow stronger. But here's the twist that no one saw coming. Some insiders are now suggesting that the reason for their low-key approach isn't just about privacy, it's about timing. That both Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner are navigating major transitions in their respective careers, and any public escalation of their relationship could shift the focus away from those milestones. If that's true, then everything makes sense. The quiet dinners. The staggered exits. The minimal public interaction. It's not about hiding. It's about choosing the right moment. And if there's one thing both of them understand better than most, it's timing. Which brings us back to that night. That seemingly simple dinner at Sushi Park. What if it wasn't just a casual outing? What if it was part of a bigger decision, a turning point that hasn't fully revealed itself yet? Because sometimes, the most important moments don't look important at all. They look ordinary. Until you realize what came after. So now, all eyes are on what happens next. Will there be another sighting? A more public appearance? Or will things go even quieter, signaling that something significant is being built away from the spotlight? Whatever the answer is, one thing is absolutely certain. This story isn't slowing down. If anything, it's just getting started. So stay right here, keep watching closely, and don't miss what comes next, because when it comes to Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner, the smallest detail could reveal the biggest truth. And just when it seemed like every possible angle of that night had already been explored, another subtle detail began to surface, one that, at first glance, felt insignificant, but quickly turned into one of the most talked about elements of the entire evening at Sushi Park. Because this time, the focus wasn't just on what Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner said or did, but on what they didn't do. No photos together. No coordinated exit. No visible attempt to acknowledge the outside world waiting just beyond those doors. And in a culture where visibility often equals validation, that absence speaks louder than anything else. Think about it. Most celebrity couples, especially ones under this level of global attention, tend to lean into the spotlight at some point. Whether it's a public appearance, a red carpet moment, or even a subtle confirmation through social media. But here, there's restraint. There's distance. There's a deliberate decision to keep things undefined. And that's exactly what's fueling the mystery. Because when something is undefined, people try even harder to define it themselves. Now here's where things take a deeper, almost psychological turn. Relationship experts, yes, even they have started weighing in, suggest that this kind of behavior can indicate a shift towards something more serious. Not in the traditional, public sense, but in a private, grounded way. A way that doesn't rely on external approval. A way that prioritizes what's real over what's visible. But then again, Hollywood has a way of blurring those lines. Because just as quickly as that narrative builds, another one emerges. Some insiders are now questioning whether this low-profile approach is actually sustainable, especially for two individuals whose lives are so deeply intertwined with public perception. Can a relationship like this truly stay private? Or is this just a temporary phase before something bigger, something more public, inevitably happens? And right there, that's the tension. That's what keeps this story alive. Because no one knows which direction it's going to go. Now, let's go back to that night one more time. Because there's a moment, one final detail, that hasn't been fully unpacked yet. As the evening came to a close, and the last of the quiet conversations faded into the background, there was a brief exchange between Timothee and Kylie that only a handful of people caught. No dramatic gestures. No obvious emotion. Just a look. A pause. And then, a subtle nod. It lasted maybe a second. But for those who noticed it, it felt significant. Almost like a silent agreement. Now, what that agreement was, we may never know. But in a night filled with carefully controlled moments, that one felt different. Less guarded. More real. And sometimes, that's all it takes to shift the entire narrative. Because suddenly, this isn't just about where they went or how long they stayed. It's about what's happening beneath the surface. The unspoken dynamics. The quiet decisions. The invisible threads connecting everything together. And when you start looking at it that way, the story becomes much bigger than a single dinner at Sushi Park. It becomes a case study in how modern celebrity relationships operate under pressure. How they adapt. How they evolve. How they survive. Or, how they don't. Now here's the part that's really starting to gain traction online. Fans have begun comparing this relationship to others in the past, trying to find patterns, similarities, clues that might hint at what comes next. Some say it mirrors relationships that eventually went public in a big way. Others believe it reflects a completely new approach, one that rejects traditional timelines altogether. And honestly, both perspectives have valid points. Because Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner aren't following a script. They're creating one. In real time. With millions of eyes watching every move. And that kind of pressure changes everything. It forces decisions. It accelerates timelines. It magnifies every small moment into something bigger than it actually is. Which brings us back to the core question. What is this, really? Is it a relationship that's quietly strengthening behind the scenes? Is it a carefully managed narrative designed to maintain intrigue? Or is it something in between, a mix of real emotion and strategic control that only makes sense to the two people involved? Because at the end of the day, there's one truth that can't be ignored. We're only seeing fragments. Carefully filtered, partially revealed, and often interpreted through layers of speculation. The full picture? That remains just out of reach. And maybe, that's exactly how they want it. Because as long as the story remains incomplete, it stays alive. It keeps evolving. It keeps people watching, analyzing, discussing. And most importantly, it keeps the spotlight exactly where it is. But here's the thing about stories like this. They don't stay unresolved forever. At some point, something shifts. A moment happens. A decision is made. And everything becomes clear, almost instantly. The question is, when? And more importantly, how? Will it be a quiet confirmation? A public appearance that changes everything? Or something completely unexpected that no one sees coming? Because if there's one thing we've learned from watching this unfold, it's that nothing about this is predictable. Not the timing. Not the choices. Not even the meaning behind the moments we think we understand. And that's exactly why you need to stay tuned. Because the next time Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner are seen together, it might not just be another sighting. It might be the moment that answers everything. Or raises even bigger questions. So if you've been following this story from the beginning, you already know, this is more than just celebrity news. This is a narrative unfolding in real time. And you don't want to miss what happens next. Drop your thoughts, stay engaged, and keep watching closely, because the story of Timothee and Kylie is far from over. In fact, it might just be entering its most important chapter yet. And just when the speculation felt like it had reached its absolute limit, another ripple quietly moved through the narrative, one that didn't explode into headlines immediately, but instead spread slowly, almost deliberately, among those who follow every detail surrounding Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. Because now, the conversation isn't just about what happened inside Sushi Park anymore. It's about what happened after. What happened in the hours, and even days, following that quiet, carefully observed dinner. According to emerging reports, both Timothee and Kylie returned to their routines almost immediately. No sudden public appearances together. No follow-up sightings that would confirm or deny anything. Just a return to normal life, at least on the surface. And that's exactly what made people pause. Because in situations like this, silence can be just as powerful as action. Sometimes even more. Think about it. If that night meant nothing, there would be no need for such precision in how things unfolded afterward. And if it meant everything, then maintaining that silence becomes even more critical. It's a paradox. One that keeps fans locked in, searching for meaning in every gap, every pause, every moment of stillness. But here's where the narrative takes another unexpected turn. Some observers have started pointing out that this pattern, intense attention followed by complete quiet, is becoming a signature move. Almost like a rhythm. A push and pull that keeps the story alive without ever fully resolving it. A sighting. Then silence. A moment. Then mystery. And just when interest begins to settle, another detail surfaces, pulling everyone back in. It's a cycle. And whether intentional or not, it's working. Because now, people aren't just reacting to what happens, they're anticipating what might happen next. And anticipation is one of the most powerful forces in storytelling. Now, let's talk about timing again. Because timing is everything in a situation like this. Both Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner are at pivotal points in their respective journeys. Major projects, major decisions, and major public expectations are all converging at once. And in the middle of all that, this relationship continues to evolve quietly. Almost as if it exists in a space separate from everything else. Untouched. Unrushed. But also, undefined. And that undefined nature is starting to raise a new question. Not just what are they, but where is this going? Because every relationship, public or private, moves towards something. A deeper commitment. A public acknowledgement. Or sometimes, an ending that no one sees coming. And right now, there are subtle indicators pointing in multiple directions at once. Which makes this even more compelling. Because it's not a straight line. It's a web of possibilities. Now here's something that hasn't been widely discussed yet. A few individuals who have reportedly interacted with both Timothee and Kylie separately in recent days describe a similar energy, focused, calm, but slightly more guarded than usual. Not distant. Not withdrawn. Just intentional. As if both of them are fully aware of the attention surrounding them, and are choosing every move carefully. And that level of awareness can mean one of two things. Either they're protecting something important, or they're preparing for something significant. And maybe, just maybe, it's both. Now imagine this for a second. That dinner at Sushi Park wasn't the main event. What if it was the setup? A quiet moment before a bigger shift. A pause before something changes. Because in storytelling, the most important scenes are often the ones that seem the smallest at first. The quiet conversations. The subtle looks. The moments that don't demand attention, but end up meaning everything later. And if that's the case here, then we may have just witnessed the beginning of something much bigger than we realize. But of course, there's still the other side of the argument. The skeptics. The ones who believe that we're reading too much into a simple dinner. That not every glance, not every pause, not every decision carries hidden meaning. And they might be right. But here's the thing. When it comes to figures like Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner, nothing exists in a vacuum. Every action, intentional or not, becomes part of a larger narrative. A narrative shaped not just by them, but by the millions of people watching, interpreting, and reacting in real time. And that collective attention? It transforms even the smallest moment into something bigger. Something worth talking about. Something worth analyzing. Something worth following. Which brings us to where we are now. At a crossroads. A moment where the story could go in any direction. Forward. Backward. Or somewhere completely unexpected. And the only way to find out is to keep watching. Because the next sighting, the next interaction, the next subtle detail, it could either confirm everything people suspect, or change the narrative entirely. So don't look away now. Because if this pattern continues, the next move from Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner won't just be another moment. It will be a signal. A signal that reveals whether the story is building towards something lasting, or quietly approaching a turning point no one is prepared for. Either way, one thing is absolutely clear. This isn't just a headline anymore. It's an unfolding story. And you're watching it happen in real time. Stay locked in, stay curious, and don't miss what comes next, because the next chapter? It might change everything.